Hi, my name is Jackie Bianchi and my school ID is 5921. Today I'm going to talk about the dangers of using plastics. After hearing my speech, I hope you will want to switch from plastic storage containers to glass or stainless steel. Plastics have been a part of our lives for over 100 years. In 2002, about 107 billion pounds of plastics were produced in the USA. Recently, claims have been made about certain types of plastics being unsafe. Let me simplify how plastics are made. The process of making plastics is a complicated one. It begins with carbon from petroleum, natural gas, and coal, as well as many other chemicals. These elements are combined to produce a final product that can be hard like our water pipes in our home, or soft and flexible like plastic food wrap. Have you ever noticed the number with the arrows surrounding it on your plastic bottles, like this? These codes are used to determine how the product is to be recycled. They indicate the type of plastic that the item was made from. According to the American Chemistry Council, the resin identification numbers are as follows. 1 is PET or PETE, and it is used mostly for clear beverage bottles and containers such as mouthwash, ketchup, beer, and salad dressings. Number 2 is HDPE, high density polyethylene, used for milk jugs, laundry detergent, and retail bags. 3 is polychloride PVC, used to make the pipes in our home. 4 is low density polyethylene LDPE, and it's used in dry cleaning, frozen foods, and squeezable bottles. Number 5 is polypropylene, and it's used to make the rigid medical containers or bottles. And 6 is polystyrene, which is styrofoam that they make everything out of, egg cartons and packaging peanuts, cups and plates. And 7 is other. It's usually polycarbonate, but it could be made of any one of these resins. Before a product made of plastic is allowed to hold any of our foods, it needs to be tested for its intended purpose. For example, the plastic that is approved for use in our microwave has been approved for that purpose only, while the plastic that carries our water was approved for that use. The US FDA admits that something will always leach out of the container into the food, which is what scares me. They try to determine the amount that someone will ingest over a lifetime. Their goal is to make sure that during our lifetime, the amounts we consume will not pose any risk to our health. But how do we know that? How do we know if their estimates are wrong? What if the product containing plastic is not used for the intended purpose? These questions could be life-saving ones. Let's discuss just a few of the dangerous chemicals in plastics. One is BPA, bisphenol A. It's a widely produced chemical. More than 6 billion pounds of BPA are produced and used each year. Polycarbonate plastics are typically hard and clear. Epoxy resins are used to line metal products such as canned foods, bottle tops, and water supply pipes. You can see in this can, it's shiny. That's a plastic coating. You can feel it when you open a can. Some water bottles are now being voluntarily pulled off shelves and replaced by bottles that are BPA free. The health risks of BPA have been receiving considerable attention. BPA has been linked to cancer, diabetes, and obesity in animals. There is no way of knowing for sure if humans would have the same reaction, but there is enough evidence to be concerned and warrant further testing. It's important to note that BPA has been determined in the blood of pregnant women and the breast milk of lactating women. One thing that many people seem to agree on is that high temperatures can cause BPA to leach into the food or beverage. In one study, boiling water was placed in water bottles. The BPA was released 15 to 55 times faster with the boiling water. This may also occur when you leave a bottle of water in your car and it heats up. And I know we've all done that before. Now, number 1, PET, it's a clear, tough, and shatterproof plastic. Its ability to contain carbonation makes it ideal for use in carbonated soft drinks. If you look at the bottom of your soft drink bottle, you will most likely find a number 1 there. As you can see, plastics are a major part of our lives, and after hearing this speech, you will probably notice it even more. Recent studies have shown that reusing bottles made out of PET can in fact be dangerous. PET was found to break down over time and leach into the beverage when the bottles were reused, and many people reuse their water bottles. The American Chemistry Council cautions that products made with PET be used only as indicated by the manufacturer. And number 2, HDPE is a thermoplastic made from petroleum. In 2007, the global HDPE market reached a volume of more than 30 million tons. This is one of the safer choices for bottles, but very hard to find. Aluminum bottles and stainless steel water bottles are safer choices and can be used repeatedly and safely, then eventually recycled. And these are what they look like. The future of BPA. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is reviewing the data on BPA and is expected to release an assessment in the coming months. Until then, the National Institute of Environmental Health Services is recommending that consumers decrease their use of certain plastic containers that use BPA. So what do we know now? We know that we're all exposed to plenty of chemicals. In a 2005 study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control, 95% of people screened tested positive for BPA. Manufacturers currently are not required to label BPA, so there's no way of knowing if it's present in the plastic or cans we use. For now, the best way to reduce your exposure is to use stainless steel glass or plastics labeled BPA-free. You can even purchase pots and pans that are BPA-free. If you're not sure about the product, call the manufacturer and ask questions. There are many mixed reviews about the chemicals that are used to make plastics. With all these different opinions, I'm concerned about using plastics for myself and my child. I've been limiting my use of plastics, not reusing water bottles or drinking from them after I've left them in my car. I have limited my use of canned goods, and I never heat my food in the microwave covered in plastic, nor do I cover my leftovers with plastic. I always put a layer of wax paper under plastic when heating and chilling. I'm not sure if this is going to prolong my life, but it makes me feel better. Take the time to read a few articles about plastics. I'm sure it will make you think too. Now you are more informed about plastics and the harm they can cause people. These are just a few of the ways you can do better. Not using the plastic bottles and storage containers, using the metal and the glass containers for storage. Baby bottles, I would go back to using the old-fashioned glass bottles. And wrapping your food, stay away from plastics if you can. Use wax paper, parchment paper, or aluminum foil. Thank you.